Hello everyone. This video contains serious subject matter and is intended for educational use only. Setagaya, Tokyo, Japan. It was the morning of December 31st, 2000. Around 10:40 in the morning, a mother by the name of Haruko was attempting to get a hold of her daughter, 41 years old Yasuko. Calling several times but only getting an empty dial tone, Haruko began to worry. Knowing this is strange, she immediately goes to check up on her daughter, not knowing the horror she would soon face. She arrives at a terrible scene. Screaming with horror, she runs outside and calls the police. Her daughter and the family of 4 had all been murdered. Yasuko the wife, her 44-year-old husband Mikio Miyazawa, and their children 8-year-old Nina and 6-year-old Rei, were all gone by the time Haruko arrived. The Tokyo Metropolitan Police Department investigated the house thoroughly, finding an overwhelming amount of clues about the menace. The investigation of the crime scene concluded that the family had been murdered on December 30th at around 11:30 p.m. The police also determined that the killer then stayed in the house for several hours after the event took place. The chief of Seoul Police, Takeshi Tsuchida, was designated to be the lead investigator on the case. This was the case he remained on until his retirement. The house was located next to Setagaya Park, where the assailant climbed a tree and removed a window screen to the open window of the second-floor bathroom at the rear of the house. 6-year-old Rei was sadly the first to go by asphyxiation. The father Mikio heard the commotion and rushed upstairs to see what was going on. The two start to fight, and a struggle takes place right beside the unresponsive Rei. Mikio was able to injure the killer, but again things ended horribly as the father lost the fight and was stabbed with a sashimi knife to the head. The police reports claim that part of the knife broke off during the stabbing and remained inside Mikio's skull. The maniac then focused on the remaining 2 family members. After using the same broken knife, he switched to a general Japanese kitchen knife called a santoku that was found. After the incident occurred, the killer then remained inside the house for anywhere from 2 to 10 hours. The criminal decided to treat the place as his own and helped himself to the fridge, drinking 4 bottles of barley tea and eating 4 ice creams and a melon. He then used the toilet without flushing, leaving feces behind, and proceeds to bandage and treat any wounds that he received during the brawl using first aid kits and other sanitary products. The reports also showed that he had used the family computer to browse the internet for a while, and even at one point took a nap on the sofa in the second-floor living room. The intruder went through the house and ransacked the place. Drawers were open, and papers were slung everywhere. The floor was covered, and even some were in the bathtub. Money had been stolen from some drawers, but surprisingly more was left behind. The killer also shockingly left a plethora of items behind on the family sofa. A knife, a muffler, a fanny pack, a sweater, a jacket, a hat, gloves, shoes, and 2 handkerchiefs. After the police had analyzed the family's computer, it showed that it connected to the internet after the murders at around 1:18 a.m. and again at around 10 a.m. This is around the same time that Yasuko's mother Haruko entered the building. Authorities believe the killer had stayed in the house until at least 1:18 a.m., but the computer usage at 10 a.m. could have also been triggered by Haruko accidentally moving the mouse during her discovery of the crime scene. The police have been able to obtain very specific clues about the criminal, but were unable to apprehend a suspect at any point. The police determined that the killer had eaten string beans and sesame seeds the previous day after analyzing the feces that was in Miyazawa's bathroom. They determined that the clothes and sashimi knife left behind by the killer had been purchased in Kanagawa Prefecture sometime before the incident. Police also learned that the killer's sweater was unique, with only 130 units ever being made and sold, but unfortunately only 12 of the people that purchased them were ever tracked down. One of the strangest things about this case is that inside the fanny pack that was left behind at the crime scene were trace amounts of sand. After analyzing the sand from the fanny pack, it was determined to come from the Nevada desert, more exactly the area of Edwards Air Force Base in California. Police investigators found the killer's DNA and fingerprints throughout the house, but none matched their databases, indicating that they did not have a criminal record. They believed the killer to be around 5'6" and have a slim build. The police also estimates that the suspect was 15 to 35 years of age at the time due to having to scale up a tree and climb through a window. The Miyazawa's wounds also indicate that the killer is likely to be right-handed. After examining the killer's blood, it was revealed to be type A, which none of the Miyazawas were. The blood also showed that the criminal could have been of mixed race, with maternal DNA showing a mother of European descent and paternal DNA indicating a father of East Asian descent. These results led to Tokyo Metropolitan Police Department to seek assistance through the International Criminal Police Organization, as the killer may not be Japanese or present in Japan whatsoever. For a case that happened decades ago, many questions remain unsolved. Why did the criminal leave so much behind? Why spend so long in the residence? Why did the killer have sand from the Nevada desert? What was the attacker's motive? Most of these questions will never be answered. It was once noted that an ex-FBI agent used profiling to back a theory that the killer murdered the Miyazawas out of resentment, but that was quickly shut down from the many complaints by Yasuko's older sister. This case caused such an uproar in the media and had become so infamous that the statute of limitations in Japan was removed in 2010. In 2015, it was reported that 40 officers were assigned to the case full-time. In 2019, it was reported that 35 officers are still assigned to the case. Every year, the TMPD makes a pilgrimage to the house for memorial ceremonies. In 2019, the TMPD made an announcement that the Miyazawa house will be torn down due to its deterioration, but that was appealed by the family and supporters. All evidence related to the case remains in custody. Involving over 246,044 investigators and more than 12,545 pieces of evidence to analyze, it is considered to be one of the largest murder investigations in Japanese history. That's all for today's episode. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe for more content. Until next time, later.